All right. So the main difference between my course and other courses is this. This is the main difference. We all have the same material, maybe presented differently. You may have, you know, definitely, I'm the only black person who's doing this. You've got a Puerto Rican guy out in California. You've got a Hispanic woman up in Washington. Like you've got a couple of people in California. Another lady who's very prominent, California. She's doing it. A white lady, I believe. She's pretty popular. But the main difference, about 5 more minutes, and I should be able to join. That's cool. I can talk for days. I'm only going to be here for 45 minutes. I'm going to go play poker after this. But anyways, so the main differences, these are the main differences. One course, I'm not going to say which one because I don't want to like specifically target a course because this is going to get out and people are going to get offended and be like, you don't know. So one course offers CEUs. I used to offer CEUs. I only offer like 4, I think. Offers 4 CEUs for my training. And it didn't increase the value of how people saw my course. So I no longer pursued. Then the other part of that was I'd pay, I don't know, $50 or whatever, however much money I would for the CEU certification to give out CEUs. But then I had to do it either virtual or in person. And so I'm putting in all this work to trying to get people into the actual in-person training or the virtual training. And I'd get 1 or 2 people who registered. It was just a lot of work and not enough return back in investment. So in time and money. So I stopped offering CEUs. Maybe if I grow larger, and I have a bunch of people who are interested in learning, like in a cohort, then I would open that up. But at the current time, I don't have that, so I don't offer CEUs. There's no value to that. And then there's other platforms like Clearly Clinical. I'm not too sure if you're familiar with Clearly Clinical. So Clearly Clinical is a podcast that offers CEUs. You can listen to this completely for free, or you can also pay $100 a year, I think it is. It may be more, but from what I understand, it was $100. You watch 24, however many that you need. You watch those 24 videos, those episodes, and to be honest with you, you don't have to watch all of them, but ethically you're supposed to. So that's what I'm going to say. But you watch those videos, and after you watch those videos, you take a 10 question survey. And, after you pass that with like an 80 or above, then you get a CEU. Like it's super convenient, super affordable. It's $100 and to get all your CEUs taken care of. So when you have resources like that that can get your needs met through the CEUs, I don't think that me adding CEUs on my course is worth it. So I could just point to someone and say, hey, get all 24 of your CEUs at this one website for $100. It's called Clearly Clinical, and it is legit. So I don't know, clearlyclinical.com. I don't know. But anyway, so Clearly Clinical, you can get your CEUs from them by listening to podcasts, and really you don't have to listen to the full episodes. So that's one. And then the other major difference between my course and other courses is a directory. Now, my course, we're pushing 100 members. 100 people have registered for Your Guide to Immigration. Almost 100 people have registered for Your Guide to Immigration Evaluations. And I'm not recording. I need to be recording. Maybe when you join, Camille, I'll go ahead and press record. But anyways, so about 100 people have registered for, almost 100 people have registered for Your Guide to Immigration Evaluations. And so I don't have a large, and most of those people are living in Texas. And you can provide a psych evaluation, an immigration psychological evaluation remotely. And so you only need 1 or 2, 3 referrals in the state of Texas for you to be covered. I need people in Mississippi. I need people in California. I need people in Washington State, in Washington, D.C., in the DMs. Like I need more. I need my course to be pushed out there at a much broader scale for me to offer a directory. It just doesn't make sense right now. It doesn't make sense. Everybody, a lot. I've got people in Virginia, South Carolina, Florida, Alabama, New York, New Jersey. That's all I know off the top of my head. It's mostly central, Chicago, Illinois. It's mostly central and eastern. I haven't touched west side, the west coast, I should say. So, anyways, it doesn't make sense for me to have a directory. I don't have enough people signed up and registered for your guide to immigration evaluation. So I'm in Dallas, yeah. And so the main differences are same material, same type of content. We talk about what a U visa is, what asylum is, what is a hardship, what is it like. We talk about all the different types of applications. My wife's an immigration attorney. I bring her on to talk about that stuff. It can be mumble jumble if you're not really into immigration. And so you just need to really understand the gist of what these applications are and what are the qualifications. They say the same thing in their course. I talk about how to write the reports, how to structure. Now, this is my little sauce that I put into my training. What I've learned over doing psychological evaluations for CPS, the foster care system, so CPS in the state of Texas, like I put in my own juice and my own sauce, how to put the heading and how to, put the footnotes at the bottom of your report, each page, wherever you cite whatever you're citing. Whether it's an article or a website, like I put my own little sauce into how I write my reports. And so, and then I give you a number of templates. I give you a lot of templates. And so they do the same thing. They do the same thing. And so the differences are they offer CEUs and they offer a directory. Those are the main differences between my course and their course. Now let's talk about pricing. I could easily price mine at $1,000, $800, $1,500, $2,000. And the reason for that is just for the simple fact of this niche, this skill that you are learning, this market that you're tapping into, the problem is never going to be solved. Our lifetime, our children's lifetime, our great grandchildren's lifetime. Immigration in the United States is not going to be solved, exonerated, go away. It's not. If anything, it's going to get worse. And so you have the opportunity to make money for a lifetime throughout your career by doing immigration evaluations. That's why the prices have been so high out there. Why is mine? I'm going to start recording. Okay, Camille. So if you jump in, make sure that you don't have your camera on. I told you I can talk for days about this. Like, this is my ish. This is my jam. So I'm going to go ahead and start recording. Let me remember where I left off. All right. So the main reason why my course is significantly priced lower than other courses and trainings for two reasons. One, I don't offer CEUs and I don't offer a directory. What is the significance of the directory? After people take a course, after they take a training, they want to now I've learned this new skill. I want to make money. I spent $400. I spent $500 on trying to learn how to getting into this niche and start providing these services. Now I want to start making money. It's the return on your investment, and I get it. And so a directory is a great way to get that return on investment. However, the directories that so they're not working like what is the main Psychology Today? When you think of a directory, Psychology Today, for us in our profession, Psychology Today is like the gold standard for directories. After your 6 months trial or your 3 months or however much long they give you as a clinician when you first sign up, your referrals diminish significantly. And it's like that with these other directories because I have been in them. So it's like that in these other directories, but much more at a smaller scale, meaning you don't get nearly as many referrals as you would on Psychology Today. And so you've got to kind of weigh your pros and cons with that. Like, is the directory, like, if you have ways in which you can gain referrals on your own, whether you have marketing skills that you know how to get out there and hustle, grind, you don't feel uncomfortable making cold phone calls, sending out cold emails, knocking on immigration attorneys' doors, and getting those doors closed on no, we're not interested, or we have evaluators, especially if you're not a Spanish speaker or a part of the Hispanic community. If you're not comfortable with those type of possible, consequences of grinding on your own, that's really an entrepreneurial's journey. This is what we have to do. Nobody knows who we are. Nobody knows about your guide to immigration evaluations, respectively speaking. When you look up immigration evaluation trainings, who do you find? Right? I can give you Claudia's first and last name and the name of her training. Like, I can give you the white lady. I can give you. I'm so sorry I say this. The lady in California who appears Caucasian and doesn't speak Spanish. I can give you the Puerto Rican guy on YouTube that has a course or training in California. Like, but nobody knows about your guide to immigration evaluations, respectively speaking. And so that is the journey and the path of an entrepreneur. You've got to hustle. You've got to have that grind. Now, there's other ways to cut corners. You can pay for ads. You can do affiliate. You can do where you hire a social influencer, a social media influencer, to promote your product, and you can give them a percentage of this, like a kickback or whatnot. Like I do with your guide to immigration evaluations, I give them affiliate links, and so there's different ways that you can position yourself to get more referrals. But for the most part, we got to grind at this. Okay. Nobody knows that Miss Lucas provides psychological evaluations. Okay. Nobody's just running to your website and seeing this. Google's a beautiful thing, but unless you have like everything SEO on point, you're not going to populate immediately. It takes 3 to 6 months for you to start populating on Google, and you need to update your website every 3 to 6 months, at least once a quarter, for you to populate immigration evaluators near me. If you want to be that person, you've got to learn how to optimize your website. This is all part of the grind that we all have to do. Okay. And so, and again, there are shortcuts, right? You can pay for advertisements. You can do YouTube. You can do Google stuff. You can do all types of things. You can go on what is that? The streaming software, the music streaming, not the Pandora, but the green one. Like, you can create a commercial on there. They're expensive, but they have the best reach and the most reach. So there's ways in which you can position yourself to get more leads. And that is the whole point of having a directory. But these directories don't work in that capacity. And I'm not going to speak any more about that. So those are the main differences between my course and other courses that are out there. Now, that was one. No CEUs and no CEUs and no directory. By the way, so I've got somebody else who joined the live. If you're interested in actually joining in on the conversation, I have put the link in the comments. You can join the conversation, ask and participate, ask your questions and or comment. Even if you are a pre-existing student of your guide to immigration evaluations, feel free to go ahead and pop in there. Let me see if I can do this. Control V, maybe. Shift V? No. I don't know how I did that. Oh, I did it on my PC. So I just got a Mac. Hey, Camille. So I just got this Mac today. So I'm still remembering how to do this. Comment to show it. Let me see. Comments. So anyways, yeah, so those are the two reasons why I chose the price, the I guess the cheaper price on my course. And then the other reason is because I have I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do it to where I can see you too. The other reason is because I don't have the YG. I wanted my course to be affordable for all clinicians, not just the seasoned experienced ones that have a large private practice. I wanted clinicians who came out of grad school. I had someone who knows my wife, kind of inadvertently. Um, she knew my wife. She just graduated with a psychology degree or a social work degree. No, I think it was a master's degree in psychology. She was getting ready to sit for her like her licensing exam to become a counselor, and she was looking to get into immigration evaluations. She's Mexican, and she wants to do immigration evaluations, but she didn't know how to get into it. She didn't know how to get a training, and so that's why I offered mine. But this girl is just out of grad school. She probably doesn't make $22 an hour. I mean based off of what she had described that she does, what her job is. And so she's an entry level, now not licensed clinician. She's got a master's degree and she wants to make money. And the first thing I recommend is her go get her license. Study for her exam, because the further you get out from your exam, the harder the exam it's going to be to pass. All that stuff is fresh. Writing papers, all that, all those theories and the therapeutic interventions and the best modality, all that stuff is fresh on your brain. You want to take that test as soon as possible. But anyways, my point is, um my whole mission was to make this course more affordable. My idea, my goal is to have more clinicians who know about YG versus having my course be one of the most expensive out there. I don't care about, oh, place and value. Oh, I'm making sure my course is valued at this, that, and the other. Like, I don't care about that. I care that more people know about YG. So that's why I priced it so low. All right. So let me see if I can group layout. Let me see if I can add this. And then maybe you can join. I don't know why. Camille, can you hear me? Okay, I was just making sure. I didn't. I mean, I
Can
was
you
just.
hear me?
I can hear you perfectly fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was just making sure that I can bring you on if you wanted to ask questions or anything like that. I know you're grubbing, so and I get that.
Just finished. Thank you.
No
You've been
problem.
doing well.
So you kind of you get why the major differences in my course versus other course, right? You got that part?
Correct.
Okay, and then why I price mine significantly lower than everybody else's.
Right. And I'll admit, I have not looked at your website. I've looked at your social medias and within the group, but I have not looked at. I've seen you. I've seen that you have referred back to your program, your courses, and I haven't went to. I hadn't done that next step.
No, it's perfectly fine. So I mean, to be honest with you, whether you choose me or somebody else, it's not about me getting more leads and me getting more sales. Like I do pretty well, but I want to help. I want to provide value. I want to make sure that you're making the right decision. And so, you've got there's another Facebook group out there. I don't know if you're familiar with that one. It's I think like maybe 2,000 members strong, and they have more of a community in there. So if hey, I'm looking for someone who can pick up a case in Wyoming, in
Mhm.
DC, or and they've got that feedback. Well, oh, I can pick it up, and so they also have a directory. And so if that's something that you're looking for, joining that Facebook group would be awesome. Even though they minimize that and they want to push it towards the directory because it's more of a paid service. But even though you get like 6 months free, but after that,
Right. Because I just really found out about this literally within the last month. And so I've joined your group and other groups, and I have gone through not one of the big name trainings, but I was interested in your perspective because I'm in Texas as well, and so I'm interested to see what that looks like within Texas versus some of the other states. Because, like you mentioned earlier, immigration is not stopping, and it's an area that I already work in. So, why not learn more? So, I'm interested to hear more. What else are your courses offering? And because I imagine you'll also give a perspective of what it looks like for a melanated person trying to do this work within Texas as well. So.
Yeah. So I had did a video on my TikTok earlier this week, maybe last week, and I talked about how your referrals come from immigration lawyers, attorneys, and so the relationship really starts there. That's where the bulk of your referrals will come from. Second, it's going to come from your website or landing page. And on that landing page, you're going to have people who search up. And these are some things that I really should probably do a whole training on this, but it's about SEO, search engine optimization. What are people Googling? What are people searching whenever they are looking for an immigration evaluator? Okay, they're not looking for psychological immigration evaluation therapist near me, right? So that's more of jargon that us professionals would use. They're looking for immigration evaluation, immigration reports. Um, they're not searching therapists, and so you have to know what they are looking for so you can put it on your website. Okay. And so that, again, it goes back to optimizing your site for Google. And there's websites. There's a couple of free websites. One is Ask the Public. You can type in immigration therapist. You can type in immigration therapist near me, and you can see what people are asking. And those are your clients. Those are those attorneys who need someone to write a report for their client, and they're looking for immigration therapists near them. And so that is something that I talk about. But anyways, as a melanated person, you want to build relationships with the immigration attorneys. Once you get one or two immigration attorneys who you have a relationship, you're constantly meeting with them. I wouldn't say constantly meeting with them, but you're poking in once a quarter, once every 3 or 4 months, and saying, hey, I just wanted to drop off these donuts. Here's some more pamphlets or flyers. I'm still doing immigration evaluations. How are you doing, Nancy? How are you, Kyle? And you want to just pop in and build those relationships. So whenever they say, you know what, let's give this lady a try. I see that she's on her grind and she seems sweet and sincere. We're going to try her out. So they have a client who speaks English and they don't mind referring them to you. The whole point is to get on that list. An immigration attorney has a list, ethically is supposed to, have a list of therapists or agencies that they can refer their clients to, at least 3. They would like to have 4 or 5. And you want to make it to that list. When you make it to the list, you want to have yourself or somebody readily available to answer the phone call. Because if you don't answer, they're going to go to the next person on the list. So that's kind of key. Like there's certain things. And then once you get that first lead and you get that referral, you've got to knock it out the park. Like you've got to kill it. You tell them 14 business days, I'll have your report completed within 14 business days. If you can get it done sooner, awesome. The sooner the better, because the attorney wants to put their pamphlet together, they want to put their file together, and they want to have it done. So whenever they go to court in 2 or 3 months, they don't have to worry about an immigration evaluation. They got it. You want to knock it out the park so you get more referrals. And then you follow up with an email. Thank you so much. Kyle Sandoval reached out to me. I did his immigration evaluation. Everything went smooth. Blah, 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 in an email. Or you can stop by the office and drop off a card or something. Like that is what it's about when you're starting out. And then once you get your name, once you get branded as an immigration therapist, it's crazy, the opportunity. It's absolutely crazy. It's crazy.
Mhm. Right, I like what you said about really with the immigration using like that term because I was actually literally thinking that this week because you go on different websites and I'm seeing mental health, all the different terms, and I was like, which one is it? So thank you for confirming that one. I was like, I'll stick with the immigration evaluation, and I'm a clinical social worker, and
Mm.
so even and I work. I've engaged with you on the platform. I work for the schools and I work with our immigrant population already. And so I'm thinking about labeling myself more as kind of that immigration social worker.
Hey, so
Yes.
I'm so sorry. So, did you get my feedback on some ways in which you can generate referrals? Did you get that?
Um, I don't know. In one of your videos, you did mention I think reaching out to maybe smaller towns.
Okay, so specifically for you, I maybe I thought about telling you, but it was a lot. So I'm glad you're here. So if I'm in if I'm in that environment where I have, what is it, the bilingual, the
Right. I work for multilingual programs, but it's like I feel there's a conflict if I work within my district, we'll say. But I'm already around a lot of the stories and a lot of the cultures that are represented in my district. And so
so
it's like,
this is
well,
this
yeah.
is where I was going with it. So you reach out to, and it goes back to the relationships, right? So you reach out to an immigration attorney, a lawyer, right?
Mhm.
And and I mean, so I'm thinking of, at the top of my head, I'm thinking of like two or three that would do it. But I would reach out to immigration attorneys and I would say, hey, listen, are you interested in coming out to our school and doing a presentation for families and students on immigration? Because a lot of parents
Mhm.
are uncomfortable coming forward and saying they're undocumented. Like, that's a very sensitive thing. And so these are parents with kids who are DACA or who have citizenship here in the States. Their parents don't. And so I'd ask to an attorney to come out, do a presentation, and it's free marketing for that immigration attorney. And also, you build a relationship with that attorney. She won't forget. Maybe she gets one or two referrals. After she does her little presentation, she comes up. There's going to be parents who ask her questions. Okay, so what about my situation? They want consultation right then and there. And she gives them a card. Here's my card. Call this number Monday morning, blah, 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 blah. Right? She's getting referrals and she'll never forget you. And that's how you build relationships. So that's what I think. Either I said it in the post like minimally, or I was thinking,
Mm.
but
Well, I don't remember that, but no, I like the idea. I just got to figure out to make sure it doesn't get sticky,
mhm.
to where it seems like I'm trying to mix it too much. But no, I like the idea because, like I said, I'm the school social worker and I work. And literally, I just left an event where we had our FAFSA and TASFA night, where we had a lot of our undocumented families there to help the families complete the form, and
Mm.
so which was very well. So I'm leaving on a good high. So yes, and so I already work with our family engagement facilitator with that. So there are opportunities where I could recommend certain things as far as like, oh, this may be someone else, but I just got to make sure it fits in line with what they want to do. But I like the idea. I could always brainstorm. I'm in the first year with this position, so
Okay.
thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, no problem. Like I mean, and that goes back to, the creativity aspect of, the entrepreneur. So it sounds like you're in the W-2 right now, and
Mhm.
you have the opportunity to create a side hustle or grow your business on the other side. And so growing your business, you sometimes have to be creative because, again, nobody knows you and
Mhm.
nobody knows that you offer immigration evaluations. So how are you going to position yourself to get more leads and provide services? And so if you already have that connection with the community and you're very familiar with some of the population, the students and the
Mhm.
stories and the parents, and if you're very familiar with it already, it shouldn't be hard to build a relationship with an attorney. It shouldn't be hard. It's
Mhm.
about getting outside of your comfort zone. I don't know how uncomfortable marketing is for you, but that's what it's about. Yeah.
Right. I won't be getting to social media, but no, that's one of the things I was curious with. Do you provide guidance, or is it included in your courses where you give clinicians kind of like not a step by step or just things that should be already established before you start going out there? Because I think that would be the concern. Because, like I said, I went to something and I got a lot of good information, but it's just like, how do I know that I have, most things in place to be ready so that when they give me something, I can get it done and complete it within, within 14 business days or shorter, but, close, not flawless, but really done well versus like, oh, I need to get me a copy of this or get me this. I don't know.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna join and I'm gonna drop a comment and hopefully you can catch this link. So give me a second. So this is free. It's in the Facebook group, but I've got a lot of information in that Facebook group. So it's kind of difficult to kind of filter and fish out some of the information that I have. So this is what I call the YG checklist, and this is a general sense of how you cannot miss a step, and you can ensure that you are doing it right. And so again, this is a general checklist. Let me see if I can.
Right. And while you're finding that, your course that you have, is it asynchronous or is it like a package you purchase and you have access to?
Yeah, so it's so it's a it's there's two ways that you can access. So you can do it via web or there's a mobile app. So you can take it on the go if you're in the car, you can listen to it, and then there's also downloadable forms. Some and so when you think about some assessments, self-report measures. So
Mhm.
you're really looking for depression, anxiety, and PTSD. Those are free online. You don't need a
Right.
training or an evaluator to give you access to his specific or her specific assessments. They're online. They're free, and I give you quite a few, but if you have a software like Simple Practice or Therapy
Mhm.
Notes, I think it's called.
Yes, yes.
I have Simple Practice, but Therapy Notes, if you have those, there are free downloadable PDF
Mhm.
self-report measures that you can test or you can assess for or screen for PTSD, anxiety, and depression. Anxiety and depression. Yeah. And so those are the three biggies. And so I don't really go into depth about different self-report measures, but I do offer like I think four or five, I'm not too sure, like four or five different self-report measures. Those are all downloadable, and I made it.
Yeah. Do you send them through the platform as well?
What's that? What the most?
Do simple practice where you can submit it to your clients?
Oh
Or
yeah.
do you more okay. Right, because I have it. And so I was going through it this week and I was trying to think about, oh, where can I begin to gather what I need so that it's, very accessible.
Yeah, that's another reason why I had the mobile app. It's so you can pull it up on your phone, and
Mhm.
if you need this depression screener, you go to that section of the training, and you can pull up depression screeners, and you can either download it to your phone or you can send it. So I want it to be as easy as possible for you to access and then learn as well. So I had put the website in the chat, the thread, and I can send it to you directly in your message, but I don't know how I can do it on here. That's the only problem. I want to put it in the chat so everybody who watches the replay can gain access to it as well.
Okay. Oh, was that on Messenger? Okay, I was on Messenger. Okay, right. It doesn't.
Yeah, so what that is, I'll go over that. So that's a checklist. So from the very beginning, you get the phone call. How do you set up the setting up the appointment? Make sure that you take the payment before the first session. And a lot of clinicians offer a payment plan depending on what your prices are. I suggest that anything over $1,000, you offer a payment plan. I don't though. I don't. And that's because I'm not as motivated to do the evaluations. I have clinicians who I send evaluations to.
Oh,
Yeah, so I receive referrals all the time, and I send them to my 1099s.
okay.
Yeah,
Now, do you want me to try to see if I can add the link that you provided in the comment section?
oh, that would be awesome. I was pulling it now, but yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay. Yeah, I've actually never been on stream. I've watched StreamYard, but never been here, so I'm still working with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on, comment section.
I'm about to jump back in.
Okay, you said this is the YG checklist.
Yes. Golly, that's a whole lot bigger than I remember.
Well, yeah, I think that's sort of what I'm looking at. I feel like I'm organized because no one wants to, feel like your first shot and then you like, oh, I don't have that, or I didn't have this. I know it doesn't have to be perfect, but I at least want to have as much as I should have in some kind of organized fashion.
Yeah, and so we can actually go to that. I'm gonna actually pull it up because it's extremely helpful. And that question I received a long time ago, about 2 years ago, about getting a checklist, and I was like, that's easy. That's really, really simple. And I created this website, and you can save where you left off. Yeah, so you can save your progress, I should say. All right, so let's go to the checklist. Here we are. All right. So checklist: avoid missing a step in the evaluation process. Now, I want to make sure I'm addressing your question. Is this what you were asking about? Making sure that you don't miss a step and you're doing things right?
Yes, it's right. It's like making sure, because I don't know what I don't know, and the immigration attorney doesn't know that this is my first time, because I don't think I'll advertise that. But I want to make sure that if there's lingo I need to be familiar with, or type of questions or forms and all that I have access to, I have it a bit more organized. So yes, this looks about right, having a payment arrangement, having a letter to market, or having a website so that if I do some information, they can search me and find that.
All that, yeah, all that's in the course, all that's in the training. And so the two major forms that you need would just be the ROI for an attorney to speak to an attorney. That's that's on those EMR platforms, the software. But the other one is if you need an interpreter. So Spanish isn't your first language, or Igbo, whatever it is. If they're from the Eastern Indian, if you need an interpreter, you're also going to need a confidentiality agreement with the interpreter if necessary. So if you use an interpreter, and I have that a sample confidentiality agreement as well. It's in a Word doc, so you can like manipulate it, change it however you want to, and then turn it into a PDF. Like, so it's pretty encompassing. So, and then the actual interview, when you interview your client, build rapport, ensure confidence and competence. You want to make sure that you show confidence, that you know what you're doing, because you are the authority in the room. So like all that, it's here. So you want to make sure, okay, dates, times, duration, severity, you're documenting it. You can check off all of this, and then you come back here and you save your progress, and you come back in a later time. So that's free. I give that out for free to anybody.
Yeah, this is literally what I was, because even the interpreter part, because what if the first one is a language I don't speak, and it's like, okay, how do I find me an interpreter? Those type of things. I think the training I went to, she mentioned have the attorney provide the interpreter, but I don't know in Texas how has that been? Do attorneys typically provide that, or do you have to find it yourself?
No, no, yeah. I have a interpreters that I speed dial. So I speak Spanish, but it's not my first language. And whenever it comes to legal and medical, and I consider our practice in the medical field, I do
Mhm.
not interpret. So it's I don't mess with it at all, because any misunderstanding or word that could be misunderstood, taken out of place, then I could be liable. So it's something I don't risk. So I have an interpreter that whenever someone calls, I say, "Hi, this is minor to major Jeremiah speaking. How may I help you? Habla español." And I say, "Sí, claro que sí." Usually I say, "Of course I do," pero I transfer them to somebody else, and so they take over the call, or they leave a voicemail, and then that person calls them back. So that's how I deal with that.
How did you locate, I guess, reputable translators who would be familiar with these types of things? Is that in there?
Yeah, so there's two ways to do it. One, you can actually look online and find what to be honest with you, you don't need someone who is licensed or certified to do translation. You don't. You don't need a certified interpreter. There's nothing in the books that say ethically you need that. Of course, it would be best, but just as long as they know how to speak Spanish like it's their first language, you're legit. You're good. But I knew someone because I worked at a psychiatric hospital here in Houston, Texas. She quit. She had resigned. She was in like administration. She had resigned and she started her own practice, and she included interpretation services. And so I started reaching out to her, and I started paying her handsomely. And the reason why, and I talk about this in the course, the reason why I pay her handsomely, I pay her like either 75 to $100 per session. And the reason why I did that is because whenever I call her, she picked up. And the reason why is because of the money that I pay her. And so I
Mhm.
don't care if she's on a call, she's on a bit. Hey, hold on, I've got to take this real quick. She knows that I need to interpret for immediately, and she picks up because she knows that I'm going to pay. Sometimes it'll be just a consultation. Someone is interested in immigration evaluations, and they may not choose me, especially after hearing my price. They say, "Okay, I'm going to shop around." I know what that means. So when they do that, when they call, I transfer to her. We get on three-way, a conference call. She's talking to him, asking questions, and I'll cash app her $15, $10, depending on how long the call was. Right.
Mhm.
And so it's little things like that. I mean, that's what I do. That's what I do because I want people who work with me to understand that I need them. When I
Mhm.
call, I need them, you know? When I call, it's money,
Mhm.
and so that's why I pay them handsomely. I want them to pick up the phone when I call.
Mhm. Makes sense. But there's not like a website. So if I have,
Not that I
well,
know
and
of,
I guess that's where the confidentiality agreement comes into play. Okay.
but you could yeah, so that's how you protect yourself. But you can also I mean, you can look up and like, I don't know those those like Fiverr and like there's different websites that you can
Mm.
look up and then find someone who is local. I just do that out there. But there's people local in your city, in your state,
Right.
and you can find those people in those apps or those websites to interpret for you.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Oh yeah, I know it's probably past the time that you were supposed to
yeah,
be here.
yeah. But
This was
yeah,
helpful though.
yes. Feel free to, if you have any other questions or follow up questions, anything that you forget or you start looking online and you think of something, go ahead and email me, or you can put it in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and show this link. Ooh, I wish it was clickable. How do I start that? I can't. What I want to do is for someone else who is on here, if you want to ask your question, You can go ahead and either type that into your search bar on your phone or your computer, and you can join the conversation with me and Camille, or you can put your question or comment in the chat. We had talked a lot. I may repurpose this for anybody who is interested. So if you have an email that you have already given to me, I can send this in an email. And so a lot of the questions, the difference between my course and other courses, why my course is priced so low versus other I answered those earlier. All right, so this person's not asking a question. I'm gonna give them a few more minutes. Camille, so tell me, you said, I remember the thread about you telling me about your experience with the immigrant community. Um, so what interests you about doing immigration evaluations? What is your motive for inquiring about evaluations?
So I just got my clinical license last year in June, and so I don't really want to do full-time private. I'm not trying to transition, so I'm in quote unquote, I guess, a dream job where I'm a school social worker, and I enjoy that. So it's more something on the side, and then the idea of like continuing to work with the same population but in a different aspect, and for my family because I'm a single mom, and so thinking about how much time that takes to have a caseload of clients when I can have, the amount of money that it takes, and I can be able to instead of taking time away with a closed and locked door, I can be able to write the evaluations, and that may fit into my lifestyle a lot better than taking on more clients. And it still has very much meaningful work. The opportunity for me to still study and get continuing education credits that are still all in the same content area. So I think it's just about streamlining my interest in the area of what I'm interested in.
Okay, this is what I want you to do. There is an agency called Get Us Soul. Are you familiar with them?
No, can you say get Azul or
Get Us Soul? GIR. Get Us Soul. ASOL. Get Us Soul.
Oh, it's like in Spanish.
Yes.
I'm similar to you. I'm proficient in Spanish, but because of I would like to get to the point of being a bilingual therapist, but right, there's certain details that I don't want to re-traumatize anybody. So okay, I understand. Get Us Soul.
Yeah, so Get a Soul. So I put them in the Facebook group as well. They're all over the Facebook group. I talk about how they have monthly trainings or quarterly training. I think they have monthly trainings. I think, or maybe every like 2 or 3 months. But they have trainings on immigration evaluations, and then you can also sign up to be on their email list as a therapist and provide those immigration evaluations. However, the reimbursement is super low, and they don't offer any training. From what I understand, how to write these reports, I started off with Get a Soul. When I started off with Get a Soul almost 3 years ago, when I started writing reports with them, man, it's been damn near 4 years ago. I got licensed in 2020, so it's been 4 years ago. When I started working with them, I was malpracticing. I was writing reports and I was malpracticing. I was turning in pretty bad work. I just didn't know what I was doing as an immigration evaluator. And so yeah, I just, that's my only con. So anyways, if you sign up with them, it's about being the first one to respond to the email list. They put out an email, hey, we've got a male, a 48-year-old male who needs an asylum report done. I'm just giving you an example. And you have to be one of the first clinicians to respond, because first come, first serve. That's how their policy works. So you respond, say, hey, I can take it. They give it to you. And that is your case. And back when I started, it was $300. I don't know if they went up, but it was $300. And it was a lot of work because I didn't know what I was doing. But anyways, you could start off with them, get your first case, first 2 cases. But after your first case, I will help you. I I will work with you on that journey. If you decide to go that route, if you say, hey, I want to try it out, it's only $300, and it's work. You got to
Is it
meet.
like a contract, like a year contract that you are working with them?
I think they started giving out 1099s though. I'm not too sure. Like, I'm not too sure. I've never paid taxes with Get a Soul. $300, I get it. They send you a check, or they send you a check in the mail.
But
So
you said they offer trainings, and then there's also, I guess, a way for you to be kind of not contract, but contract therapist with them.
yeah,
Well,
fairly easy.
yeah, I'll look into it.
Yeah, Get a
I still
Soul.
gotta get things together because I'm just gathering information. But this checklist is really crucial to me, at least gathering it more and trying to rebrand those things that I'm looking into.
Mhm. Okay. So I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna go and have some fun. If you don't have any other questions, I'm gonna jump off. I'm gonna end this.
Oh yeah, I know you're behind, but no, I appreciate your time for sharing it with the group and all of those great things. And I'll be in contact.
Okay. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Okay, bye.